Hey guys, it's me. Listen, we are near the end of Edward Tulane. Now my friends, we started this story well before our big break. So we're right now going to be able to finish our story together right before our spring break. Because today's Friday and our spring break really starts. But I want to make sure you guys got to find out what happened to our favorite China rabbit. Today I have some really special friends with me because I seriously don't like to do this alone. It's always better when I've got people listening. So I have my good friend Lily. I have my wonderful friend Adam, who actually was a real live first and second grade student of mine. And I have my daughter Tony, another real live first, second grade student that I've had. And of course, there is Loki right there on the ground. Guys, let's get started. Edward Tulane, last time we left him, he was sitting on the shelf with quite a dandy-looking little China doll. Remember, he doesn't care if he ever finds love again. He has completely become hopeless again, without any love left. There you are, milady. Meet the rabbit doll, said Mr. Clark. The doll mender walked away, turning out the lights one by one. In the gloom of the shop, Edward could see that the doll's head, like his, had been broken and repaired. Her face was in fact a web of cracks. She was wearing a baby's bonnet. "How do you do?" she said in a very high, thin voice. "I am pleased to make your acquaintance." "Hello," said Edward. "Have you been here long?" "Months and months, but I just don't care. One place is the same as another to me." "Oh, not for me. I have lived 100 years, and in that time, I've been in places that were heavenly and others that were horrid. After a time, you learn that each place is different, and you become a different doll in each place, too. Quite different." 100 years, said Edward. "Oh, I'm old. The doll mender confirms this. He said he was mending me that I'm at least 100. Edward thought about everything that had happened to him in his very short life. What kind of adventures would you have if you were in the world for 100 years, a century? "I wonder who'll come for me this time. Sometimes someone's gonna come. They always come. Who will it be? I don't know." "I don't care if anybody comes for me," said Edward. "But that's dreadful. There's no point in going on if you feel that way. No point in all. You must be filled with expectancy. You must be awash in hope. You must wonder who will love you, whom will love you next." "I'm done with being loved," Edward told her. "I'm done with loving. It's just too painful." "Oh, pish. Where's your courage?" "Somewhere else, I guess." "Ah, you disappoint me. You disappoint me greatly. If you have no intention of loving or being loved, then the whole journey is pointless. You might as well leap from that shelf right now and let yourself fall into a million pieces. Get it over with. Get it over with right now." "I would leap if I was able to," said Edward. "Well, shall I push you?" No, thank you. Not that you could," he muttered to himself. "What's that?" "Nothing." The dark in the doll shop was now complete. The old doll and Edward sat on their shelf and stared straight ahead. "You disappoint me," said the old doll. Her words made her think of Pellegrina and the warthog and the princess and the listening and the love and the spells and the curses. What if there was somebody wanting to love him? What if there was somebody whom he would love again? Was it possible? Edward felt his heart stir. No, not possible, not possible. In the morning, Mr. Clark came and unlocked the shop. "Good morning, my darlings. Good morning, my lovelies." He pulled up the shades of the windows, he turned on the lights over his tools, and he switched the sign on the door to open. The first customer was a little girl with her father. "Are you looking for something special?" Mr. Clark said to them. "Ah, yes, I'm looking for a friend." Her father put her on his shoulders, and they walked slowly around the shop. The girl studied each doll. She looked Edward right in the eyes, and she nodded at him. "Have you decided, Natalia?" "Yes, I have. I want the one in the baby bonnet." "Oh, you know that she is very old. She's an antique," said Mr. Clark. "She needs me." Next to Edward, the old doll let out a sigh. She seemed to sit up straight. Mr. Clark came, took her off the shelf, handed her to Natalia. And when they left, when the little girl's father opened the door for his daughter and the old doll, a bright shaft of early morning light came flooding in. Edward heard quite clearly, as if he were still sitting right next to her, the old doll's voice saying, "Open your heart! Someone's going to come. Someone will come for you, but first you must open your heart." The door closed. The sunlight disappeared. Someone will come. Edward's heart stirred. He thought for the first time in a long time of the house on Egypt Street and of Abilene winding his watch and then bending him forward so he could at least look out and wait for her to come home. No, don't believe it. Don't let yourself believe it. But it was too late. Someone will come for you. The China Rabbit's heart had begun again to open up. Friends, this is our last chapter. Seasons passed, fall and winter and spring and summer. Leaves blew in through the open door of that shop, and rain and beautiful hopes of spring. People came and went, grandmas and grandfathers came and went, and little girls came with their mothers. Edward Tulane waited. The seasons turned into years. Edward waited. He repeated the old doll's words over and over until they were smooth. Someone's going to come for you. And the old doll was right. Someone did come. It was springtime. It was raining, and there were blossoms on the floor of Lucas's shop. She was a small girl, maybe 5 years old, and while her mother struggled to close a blue umbrella, the little girl walked around the store, stopping and staring at each doll and then moving on. When she came to Edward, she stood in front of him for what it seemed a long time, and she looked at him, and he looked back at her. "Someone will come," Edward said. "Someone will come for me." The girl smiled, and then she stood on her tippy toes and took Edward off the shelf, and she cradled him. She held him in the same ferocious, tender way that Sarah Ruth had held him. "Oh," thought Edward, "I remember this." "Madam, could you please attend to your daughter?" Mr. Clark said. "She is holding a very fragile, very precious, quite expensive doll." "Maggie," she told her and closed her umbrella, "what have you got there?" "A rabbit." "A what?" "A rabbit. I found him." "Remember, we're not buying anything today. We're only looking." "Madam, please." The woman came and stood over Maggie, and she looked down at Edward. The rabbit felt dizzy. Here goes Mrs. Seitz. He wondered for a minute if his head had been cracked open again, if he was dreaming. "Look, Mama, look at him." "I see him," said the woman. She dropped their umbrella. She put her hands on a locket that hung around her neck. And Edward saw then that this was not a locket at all, but it was the pocket watch. It was his watch. "Edward?" said Abilene. "Yes," said Edward. "Edward," she said again, this time quite certain. "Yes," said Edward. "Yes, yes, yes. It's me, Abilene." Friends, every time I read this story, it brings a big tear to my eye because stories are powerful. They cause emotions in us that are happy and sad and joyful. I love this story. Every time I read it, it brings tears to my eyes. Edward was reunited again with Abilene, as you can see. What a beautiful journey he had. You guys, let's have a great day today. I'll talk to you later. I love you. See you soon.